Want to build cloud projects that can really help you stand out? Well, if you've tried my beginner or intermediate level projects and you're ready to push yourself to the next level, then this video is for you. I'm going to be walking you through 5 advanced level projects that go way beyond the basics. These are perfect for those of you who are serious about your cloud learning and want to get hired fast. Each project focuses on a different real-world scenario and introduces you to services and concepts that are commonly used at a production level. We're talking CI/CD, real-time data pipelines, multi-cloud deployment, and machine learning. Now, if you end up building all 5 projects, you'll not only be a lot more confident about your cloud skills, but you'll also shine in front of recruiters during the hiring process. So yeah, let me walk you through a summary of how to build each project, and if you want the exact step-by-step instructions, you can check out my 5 advanced AWS projects guidebook. I'll leave a link to it in the description below, and you can use the code YouTube10 for 10% off. By the way, let me just mention that if you do end up getting a copy of the guidebook, you'll also get access to a 24/7 Slack community where we'll help you solve all your technical issues until you build all the 5 projects. This also applies to my beginner and intermediate cloud projects guidebooks, so make sure you get a copy for yourself so that you don't get stuck with your cloud learning. Alright, let's get into project number 1. Project number 1 is to build a CI/CD pipeline for the very well-known 2048 game using AWS Code Pipeline, Amazon ECS, and Amazon ECR. Now, I'm sure we've all played this game before, but have you ever thought of deploying it using a fully automated CI/CD pipeline? Well, in this project, you'll take a containerized version of the game and set up a pipeline that builds, tests, and deploys the application. Not just once, but automatically every time you update the code. What I love about this project is that it covers both containers and CI/CD, 2 very important components of modern cloud applications. I mean, CI/CD, which stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment, is sort of the key to how companies these days are able to ship so quickly and reliably. And so if you're aiming to become a DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, or even a solutions architect, this is the perfect project for you. Okay, here's the architectural diagram of the project and the steps you'll need to take. First, set up an ECS cluster and create an ECR repository to store your Docker image. Next, containerize the 2048 game using Docker and push it to ECR. Then, create a code build project to handle the build process. And finally, set up AWS Code Pipeline to tie everything together and handle the deployment. By the end of it, you'll have an automated CI/CD app that deploys your 2048 application to ECS Fargate every time you want to update your code. No manual steps needed. This is what the project front end would look like once built. The estimated time to complete this project is about 2 to 3 hours, and it will cost you about $1 depending on how long your container service runs for. To avoid any extra charges, just remember to clean up your resources as soon as you complete the project. Alright, project number 2 is to create a real-time stock market data analytics pipeline on AWS. This one is great for building your skills in cloud, data engineering, and working with real-time data. In the project, you'll build a pipeline that collects stock market data and then processes and stores it in real time. You'll even get alerted when interesting trends are detected. Here's the architectural diagram of the project and the steps you'll need to take. Start by setting up Amazon Kinesis data streams to ingest real-time stock data. Next, use a Lambda function to process the incoming data, clean it, and detect any anomalies. After that, store the clean data into DynamoDB for fast querying and archive the raw data in S3. Once that's done, use Amazon Athena to run queries on historical data. Now, this project is one of my favorites because it shows you how to collect data in real time, process it automatically, and send alerts, all using only AWS serverless services. The entire project will take you about 2 to 3 hours to build, and it may cost you around $2 depending on how much data you end up querying and streaming. Just make sure to stop the data stream and clean up your resources right after. Okay, before we get into the next project, I want to share with you something that has made documenting my own projects way easier. If you're a cloud learner looking to build out a portfolio of projects, having a clean and professional resume to showcase them can make a real difference. I recently started using Hostinger Horizons, which is pretty much like an all-in-one AI partner. You just describe what you want to build, for example, a website, and it acts like your designer, developer, and copywriter all at once. Here's a cloud projects portfolio site I was able to build with Hostinger Horizons, which took me under 20 minutes. You can see that it has all the main components of a portfolio website with the 5 advanced projects professionally displayed. To build it, I simply described what I wanted, something clean, mobile-friendly, and easy for recruiters to navigate. I also added the projects to include. The best part is that you can continuously fine-tune your site using built-in AI tools, whether that's changing the layout, adding new sections, or rewriting text. There's also 24/7 multilingual customer support. And so if you've been meaning to launch a personal site, project dashboard, or a user-facing web app for your new business idea, then this is probably the fastest way to do it. With Hostinger Horizons, you have everything under the same place, so you can easily launch with one click. It includes domain hosting and also a professional email. email. So I'd encourage all of you to try hosting a Horizons for free using the link in the description below for 7 days. You can also use my code to get 10% off your first month. And yeah, feel free to link your portfolio website in the comments below so we can all have a look as well. Project number 3 is to deploy a cybersecurity threat detection system with Amazon SageMaker. This project is perfect if you're interested in combining your cloud skills with machine learning and cybersecurity. You'll build a system that detects suspicious network activity in real time and flag potential security threats. Here's the diagram of the project and the steps you'll need to take. Start by pre-processing network log data using AWS Lambda, where you'll extract features such as source IP, destination port, and protocol type. Next, train a XGBoost model in SageMaker to classify each event as normal or suspicious. XGBoost is widely used for classification tasks and works well with structured data like this. Once trained, deploy the model as a SageMaker endpoint so that it can make real-time predictions. Finally, set up the SageMaker pipeline to automate the whole machine learning workflow, from data pre-processing to training and testing as well as deployment, so that your system can keep learning from new data without any manual steps. The system will continuously monitor new data and send alerts when something looks off, such as a DDoS attack or a phishing attempt. The estimated time to build this project is about 2 to 3 hours, and the cost will range between $1 or $2 depending on the training time and if you forget to delete your SageMaker endpoint. Moving on to project number 4, this is where we'll build a multi-cloud weather tracker application with disaster recovery using Terraform. If you want to stand out with infrastructure as code skills and multi-cloud experience, this is the project for you. You'll be deploying a weather tracker app on both AWS and Azure and setting up an automated disaster recovery with DNS failover. Here's the architectural diagram of the project and how to build it out. Start by hosting your front end on Amazon S3 and Azure Blob Storage. Next, register a custom domain using Namecheap or any other provider. Namecheap, by the way, just gives you a cheaper domain. Then set up Route 53 to manage DNS failover between AWS and Azure versions of your application. And finally, write Terraform code to provision everything across both clouds, including the app hosting, DNS, and failover configurations. Once it's done, you'll have a resilient, globally distributed system that automatically switches over when one region goes down. This project will take you about 2 to 3 hours, and the total cost would be around $1, mainly for domain registration and Route 53. And last but not least, project number 5 is to build a traditional 3-tier WordPress website deployment on AWS. This is a more advanced take on the classic website deployment, but done the right way with proper networking, security, and scalability. Here's the architectural diagram of the project and the steps you'll need to take. So start by setting up a custom VPC with public and private subnets. Public for your load balancer and private for EC2 and RDS. Next, create a MySQL database using Amazon RDS. After that, launch 2 EC2 instances across different availability zones to host your WordPress application. Once that's done, set up an application load balancer to distribute traffic across your EC2 instances. And finally, configure route tables, NAT gateways, and security groups for secure communication between all layers. This is what our final project would look like when completed. You'll end up with a secure and scalable 3-tier web architecture with a live WordPress website that can handle real traffic. This project will take you a bit longer, about 3 to 4 hours to complete, and it will cost you about $1 to $2, mostly from the load balancer, NAT gateway, and EC2 instance time. So there you have it. 5 advanced AWS projects that will help you build your confidence, stand out in job applications, and bring your cloud skills to the next level. For the complete step-by-step instructions, remember to check out my advanced AWS projects course linked in the description below. Let me know in the comments which of these projects you're most excited to build first, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.